Okay, here's number 3 from yesterday. And if I click over here, I have number 1, which some folks are working on this one as well. As we continue our unit on learning assembly constraints, I do want to let you know there is light at the end of the tunnel. When we start using our assembly constraints for projects after break, they indeed are going to be much easier constraints than what we're learning about this week. Because my ultimate goal this week is to get you to learn how to apply assembly constraints on projects. So I'm going to do number 4 today, since I shared number 3 with you yesterday. So up here at the top, I'm going to go new. And since I'm doing a new assembly, it's going to be standard IAM create. And as I look at number 4, I'm going to have 3 cubes. I'm going to have a cube with a hole. I'm going to have a cylinder, a triangle, and a half cylinder. So I'm going to go place. And I'm going to start with my assembly cubes. And let's see how bad I can mess this up like I did the last time. I'm going to have 2 cubes close to each other. And then I'm going to have 1 coming out the front. And I don't want a 4th one, so I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to look for my cube with a hole. I'm going to open that one, put that kind of in that area right there. Escape. I'm going to look for my half cylinder. If I had made it by this point. Well, I do need a cylinder. So let me go ahead and open that. And if I need to make a half cylinder, I don't have a problem doing that because some folks were having some issues with that. I need my triangle. So I look for assembly triangle. And that's going to be over here. And then let's look through my files real quick and see if we find that half cylinder, because I may need to make one of those, which is fine because some folks were asking about that. So let me cancel out of here. So I'm going to leave this open for my assembly part 4. I'm going to go new. I'm going to go standard IPT. I'm going to go create. And you'll see that this new part shows up here as a tab down at the bottom. Pencil, front plane. I'm going to select a line. And I'm going to make a horizontal line 1 inch long. Zoom out a little bit so I can see that whole line. I'm going to make sure for arc that I'm using a 3-point arc. I'm going to click on the 2 endpoints. And I'm going to swing up, I'm going to type in 0.5, enter. So here's the profile for my half cylinder. Excuse me. I'm going to go extrude. 1 inch is correct. So I'll check that. I'll see what kind of pretty color I can give it. Maybe nothing in this. Let's see, what do we have there? Yeah, nice, ugly maple wood color. I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to call it half cylinder. Maybe I'll spell it wrong. So, half cylinder is saved. I'm going to go back to my assembly here. I'm going to go to place. Half cylinder is right there at the top. I'm going to open that. And it's going to be over in this area here. Escape. All right, let's put these together. Remember, if it is a cube or a cube with a hole or a triangle, it's going to be mate, flush, flush. If it's a cylinder, it's going to be tangent, flush, tangent. For the half cylinder, I might use flush and edge mate. So that might be kind of new. See how this goes. So constrain. I'm on mate, And I have to swing my view cube around because I want facing surfaces. Apply, and then flush, apply, flush, apply. Now the next thing I'm going to put in is my cube with a hole over here. Let me hit cancel. I don't want. I'm going to put this over here. The hole needs to point up. So since I exited out of my constraint menu, I'm going to right click, free rotate. Oh, double click. If you hit that, see the return button, just back out of it. Constraint, it's going to be mate, flush, flush. So mate, apply, flush, and flush. All right. Next to that cube with a hole is going to be the other cube. Back to mate. Facing surfaces. Apply. Don't get confused. They are together. They just look weird. Flush. Apply. And maybe off of the ends. Try not to get my triangle. Flush that. I could go ahead and put that triangle on, so let me close out of my constraint window. I need to turn this triangle to the right a little bit, so right click, free rotate. I got it. If you double click, back out of it. I got it facing the right way, so it's going to be mate, flush, flush. So, facing surfaces are going to be mated, apply, and then flush the side, apply. But Mr. Thompson, they're not together. Well, they are. Flush the bottom, apply. Okay, we got cylinder and half cylinder. Cylinder is going to go here. Half cylinder is going to go next to it. Let's close out of our constraint window. Let's drag cylinder over. Let's try and face it up a little bit. Right click, free rotate. I want one of the flat sides. Face up, looks good. Hit escape so I'm not locked into free rotate. And what did I say? Tangent, flush, tangent. So constrain, switch to tangent, outside tangent. So this area, apply. I know, looks kind of funky. Check it from the top. I think they're aligned. Let's go back to the mate and the flush, top and top, apply, and then back to tangent. Inside here and on the curve. It indeed is in the right place. We are getting close to the end. Close your constraint window. Little house, swing that around to a better location. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to drag this over a little bit. And I want the flat part of this half cylinder to face out. So that way the back's facing. That looks good. Escape. Click off of it. Constraint window. So we're going to do a mate for facing surfaces here and for here. Apply. Let's do a flush, and we're going to have to do one more after this. So the bottom, apply. Now if I close this, it looks like it's together, and maybe it is, but let me grab this. No, see how I can move that left and right? So something that's going to be a little bit different. Let's go constrain. Let's try mate first, because that's a pretty generic constraint. Let's try just these edges. And indeed that works. And I'm realizing that I have a part in the wrong place. I'm going to have to fix this. So I'm going to apply that. Now if you have your hand out, this cube with a hole doesn't set in there. And I'm noticing that now. So I'm going to have to fix that. So let me close this. There's going to actually be a cube under it. So the easiest thing for me to do is right-click on this and delete it. It's gone. I have to put a regular cube in there. So I'm going to go Place. I'm going to look for my assembly cube. Scroll down a little bit. I'm glad I caught that right before the end. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to hit Escape. I'm going to go to Constraint. So remember, Mate, Apply, and Flush, Flush. Flush, Flush, Apply, and on the back. Apply. All right. Now I can put the cube with the hole in. Let me close this. Place, Assembly, Cube with hole, Open. It's up here. Zoom out a little bit. Escape. I can use my hand over here to drag this down. Escape key again. Right click. Free rotate. It's kind of a big one, isn't it? Escape. Assembly constraints. It's going to be Mate, Flush, Flush. So Mate, bottom on this cube, Apply, switch to Flush, 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 Apply, and Flush, Flush, Apply. Okay, so this is number 4. We've got one more to do with assembly constraints, and then hopefully, if you're feeling a little worn down on these, things should look a bit easier as we move on to our next unit. So until next time, good luck.